Good morning, and wow, that sun's a bit bright. It was horrible yesterday, but the sun's come out today. Still very, very windy. That's why I've had to get in this sheltered spot. I hope the wind noise isn't too much. Some local cliffs here. They are in the middle of the town, more or less. And although I've climbed them many times, exploring top to bottom, left to right, really, lots of little crevices and bits in them, I've never sort of looked at them with the sort of wild camping mindset. That's today's little project. Have a bit of a scramble and see if there's anywhere that I could realistically spend the night. Bloody wind! First option, can I get in there? Well, that looked simple, but was actually a bit precarious, really. I had to come over and have one foot on the end of that green post, the other foot on the concrete one to the left, and I don't know if you can see from here a diagonal sort of support bar to sort of step down. But where it's so sandy up here, because of course it is sandstone, everything gets worn away and you basically got a sandy floor, sand all over your boots, it's really slippery. So started to slide, had to jump. We'll see how it goes getting back out. But I'm up in this first little place here, obviously looking at the carpet that's been left up here and things. People come up here. Another observation, obviously that's all natural stone, but look here, this has been constructed. Now I don't know, if I turn you around that way, sorry about the sunlight, and also some old brickwork there up through that tunnel. I'm wondering whether this was a bit of a sort of a natural cave, but they used it during the war maybe as you know, a gun emplacement of some description, maybe covering the beach, maybe anti-aircraft, who knows. There was a lot of anti-aircraft guns around here. Yeah, so it could be World War II sort of modification up here. Interesting. Would I want to spend the night here? Nah, not really. It's not exactly exciting. I'm just gonna climb out in a minute and sort of like work my way along the cliff. Right, that's that far section done. It's time to start here. Goes up a fair way, as you can see. What I think I might try is go up on this end, get some height so I can look down to see if there's any, you know, bigger gaps that are worth exploring. Depends on what it's like to climb. I've not really got the right boots on, to be honest, and it's a bit of a strange combination. We've had such heavy rain yesterday. It's slippery in places, but it's dry and sandy in places, which is also slippery. So it's almost like bloody ice climbing. Let's give him a go. Well, I was standing down there, come up through this bit to here. We're about halfway up, nothing too technical, although it's been a few years since I've done this and my poor old knees are feeling it already. Just got that bit to go now. We're about 2/3 of the way up now. Don't know if you can make out that fencing, the opposite side of this little valley. And a little bit of brick sticking up there. That's like the back of Hastings Castle. If you didn't want to pay the entrance fee, you could get in from this side. But of course I wouldn't tell you that. Don't do it. It's starting to open up a bit. The amount of rubbish though. Don't you just hate that? That is the only problem here. Middle of the town, but sort of hidden. It always has been a popular place for the teenagers to hang out and the underage drinkers and that sort of thing, which, hey, we've all done. But I know when I was younger, we didn't leave this bloody mess behind. Shame. What's wrong with kids today? Let's have a look up through this crevice. It looks like it goes somewhere. Oh, bit narrow. More rubbish. Tons of rubbish. Dirty bastards. I mean, there was always a little bit up here, but it was never like this. That's just shocking. Absolutely shocking. Just pops out the other end. Steep drop there, so there's no point in going any further on that bit. There is some more through there, the other side of that gorse, at a slightly lower level. But first, as I'm up here, I'm going to go up another layer, just check out the top. So back through Rubbish Alley. I'm surprised actually that the council don't do some clearing up here. But hey, you can't expect too much from Hastings District Council. They can't even manage to sort the potholes out, all the flooding. So I don't suppose rubbish is very high on the list of priorities. Right, let's find a way up there. Yeah, maybe this gully might be an easy way up. It's pretty wet and slippery up through there. Hang on, let's get some more light on it. Yeah, that's not looking good. Oh, sand blown in my eyes. That might be possible, but I'm not going to do that unless I really have to, or possibly even up on that bit. Let me put the camera away and work it out. Sorry about the wind. That was an interesting climb. God, bloody hell. Rubbish alley. Well, I've dropped down a little bit to try and get a little bit of shelter for filming. I'm sitting here also with my hands cupped over the microphone. I hope it's working. There's some nice little spots that would be great to stick a bivvy bag down and that sort of thing. But the rubbish, just rubbish everywhere. Not only do I hate the sight of it, the thought of it, but it proves it's just too popular. So I think we can cross this off as a camping location, which is a shame. Would be quite cool. Especially this little flat spot I'm on at the moment. And not a bad view. Let me turn the camera and I'll show you. A nice little flat spot here. Looking out over the beach. Oh, let me get up around to the old town. It would be a nice spot in the summer. Oh, I was up here a while back and I posted some pictures and some people asked me about that little white structure. Let me zoom. That one. And it looks like a lighthouse. And that is sort of correct. But it's not a one as you would imagine. It doesn't sort of rotate or flash. It's a stationary coloured lamp. And the reason for that is where the private boats are down there, there's another lamp at beach level. So when you're coming in at night, you basically line up that light with that light, keeping one above the other, and you know you're in a straight line to come onto that bit of beach where they can safely land. Totally irrelevant to this video, but I just thought I'd mention it. Well, I've enjoyed having a little climb this morning. Years since I've been up here. Couple of things. One, I'm certainly not as young as I used to, and my joints don't like it. But mainly disappointed by the amount of rubbish. It's sort of written off this area for me. It's a shame. It was nice to come back, but disappointing to see how it's been treated. Well, if you got this far in a video, well done. And if you have, here's some bonus information for you. Bloody wind. Now, if I zoom you a bit, there's the little sort of light structure. To the left of it is the entrance to Hastings Caves, the tourist attraction. What they don't really talk about is the fact that the bit that's open to the public is only a small amount. It goes in a little way and you do the touristy bit and heads that way. They actually extend under all of this hill. And if I pan right round, that little group of houses there, there's a road to their left, and down that road is another entrance into the caves. All secured nowadays. It's in someone's garden essentially, but that was the back entrance in the caves for the people that lived up the top there during World War II, because it was the local air raid shelter as well. And if you go down there and look carefully, you might be able to spot the back door into the caves. But the caves are way bigger than what you see on, I don't know, YouTube, or if you visit them yourselves. It's approximately 1.5 acres of cave network under there. Just coming down the back road off the cliff. Also, I can't remember which one, but some of the entrances on the right hand side here, one of these was into the caves as well for air raid purposes, and one of the houses above there, the caves were actually lost for years, and then someone rediscovered it when I was digging in the back garden and broke through and fell into the cave. Another interesting feature down here, this house on the corner, the right hand side, the one we're going round now. Anybody that's watched the World War II series, Foyle's War, that's the house they used for his house in the series, and a lot of the filming was done around this area because it's fairly unchanged. They only have to sort of like close the road and ban the traffic, and they can almost say it's any period. This little narrow spot here, I used to have to drive a 7.5 tonner through here. I used to have to come in up, scrape the bumper on one wall and have the bodywork scraping on the church on the other wall. It's always a nightmare delivering around here. I still do a fair bit of work in this area, but with the 3.5 ton van it's a little easier, but there's still a few of the streets that I can't actually get down, so you just park as close as you can and walk. Now I'd like to take this right, but I think they've closed it to traffic now. Let's have a look. Yeah, pedestrian zone. That's a pain. Always used to nip down that one. I have to do the next one. Well, as you can see, it's not the widest of roads, and with a large vehicle you only need car parked side of the road a bit iffy, and you just can't get through because the pavement's very high on the left. You could bump onto the pavement. I know you're not really supposed to, but if it means getting past, not causing an obstruction, you can. But the pavement's so high, and it's them old granite curbstones, if it's a bit damp, the tyres don't want to climb it. They just slide along it like a rail, so then you're stuck. Hey ho. Right, last bit of filming, but from inside the car because it's so bloody windy. You can just about see the corner of Hastings Castle there. That first little piece I explored was directly above this turret. I was in that rock area there, across the valley, and then that was the main bit that I was exploring all around here. I came in at the bottom behind these houses and worked my way up to the top. I don't know if you can make it out. There's someone on the top there. He's probably come across. There is a road right at the top that you can just walk across. So yes, very interesting, sort of geologically interesting area. Potentially would have been nice to do a camp up there, a bivvy camp, but it's just been trashed, it's been ruined, which is a shame. Never mind, time to head home.